I think that he needs to have his Floyd Mayweather moment. And both the champions are going to know what I'm talking about. That moment that he had with Diego Corrales, where he went and took him apart. And Floyd, some people were saying the same thing a little bit, not as much, but a little bit about Floyd. He's a defensive fighter, he doesn't take chances, you can't hit him, all those kind of things. And then he goes in there with Diego Corrales, who good puncher, good fighter, champion, tremendous. And he takes him apart.
We are only weeks away from January 31st. 2026, and the tension inside Madison Square Garden is already at its peak. When two top-level fighters face each other, the talk is usually about power against speed, but the matchup between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez has taken a very different turn. This is not just a fight in the ring, it feels like a clash between the Matrix and what legendary trainer Teddy Atlas describes as neon talent. While the betting lines remain cautious, many experts expect pure unpredictability. Is Shakur's defense really impossible to break, or does Teofimo carry that rare natural edge that can destroy even the most perfect strategy?
Teofimo has those it factors, those special qualities, those explosive skills, those neon talents that I often talk about, that you either have them or you don't have them. Where, whether you want to call it the quick twitch, muscles, fibers, whatever you want to call it, but he has those kind of explosive abilities. And that makes him a guy that if he's on that particular night, it puts him...
Teddy Atlas has experienced everything in boxing, and when he looks at Teofimo Lopez, he notices something numbers cannot define. Atlas says Teofimo carries neon talent, those sudden sharp moments of brilliance that can never be taught. According to Atlas, you either have this special quality or you do not. While Shakur Stevenson represents steady control and technical excellence, Teofimo stands as the wild card. Atlas believes Teofimo's unpredictability is his strongest weapon. He may seem uneven against lower-level opponents, but when the stage is at its brightest, those neon traits let him do things that break all logic. This is the real risk Shakur is facing. He is not fighting a typical boxer, he is fighting someone who grows stronger in chaos.
Shakur? No. Can Teo adjust to the point where he beats Shakur? Yeah. You don't see how? Shakur hates slick and economic boxers. So does Teo. They both hate where each other are. Shakur looks great against volume punchers. De Los Santos sitting back and not being active, Shakur doesn't look good. That's when they say he's boring. The thing is, Teofimo Lopez is an excellent fighter. He beat Josh Taylor and Lomachenko. How did he beat Lomachenko? By being patient. Y'all are sleeping on Teo. And it's at 140. Now, the thing what's wrong with Teo is Teo also looks good as a counter puncher when you are a volume puncher too. Another thing is Teo looks very great when he's dialed in. He fights more athletic than Shakur. Shakur fights far more technically sound, and he's a more gifted fighter skill-wise.
While Atlas talks about the X-Factor Hall of Fame trainer Abel Sanchez has shared a prediction that has left the boxing world confused. He does not expect a knockout, and he does not even expect a clear winner. Sanchez believes the fight will end in a draw.
Great talent, and Teofimo looked great in his last fight. Of course, he didn't have Shakur in front of him, but I think that for Shakur, he has to keep the fight at his distance. If he does that, I think it's a win for him. Teofimo, he's more, he wants to draw you in, he wants to counter punch. He's gonna have to be a different guy this time. He's gonna have to attack. He's gonna have to be leading the fight, or else it's gonna be a boring fight. I don't think it'll be a boring fight, but if he sits back and waits for Shakur's gonna wait for him, then it's not gonna be exciting. But I think Teofimo will attack. I think Teofimo has to attack. I think Teofimo has to do what Zepeda did, except for Teofimo's a lot more talented than Zepeda was. So I think that I honestly, I see a draw. I don't know why I see a draw, but I just see them both having great rounds and giving us the kind of fight that I think the public is looking for.
His reasoning is harsh and direct. For Teofimo to win, he has to push forward and accept danger. For Shakur to win, he must control space and stay disciplined, even if the fight feels dull. Sanchez thinks these opposite approaches could balance each other out, leading to a tactical deadlock where both fighters show flashes of greatness, but neither takes full control. A draw in a legacy-level fight like this would spark debate, but because of these styles, it feels like a very real outcome.
Really that time for him to really take his first loss and, me whoop his ass to the point where Either he quits on the stool or I knock him out. How I see this fight being played out is with me pretty much setting that momentum for the people out there as well. You know, not really trying to force for it. However, I can't be too technical with Shakur. You gotta make it a little ugly. You gotta make it a little ugly. If you try to be too technical with Shakur, it could be too long of a weighted chess match. You know, certain people don't want to see that. They don't want to see pop shots. You know what I mean? They want to see good action. I have yet to see, and I think you could attest with me, I don't think we have seen Shakur face anyone higher than who he's gonna face next, and that's of me. So, you know, I definitely, you know, commend him at least for stepping up to the plate. But I think it's time. I think it's really that time for him to really take his first loss and, you know, me whoop his ass to the point where either he quits on the stool or I knock him out.
You really believe that, you know, because everyone will say, oh man, Shakur is probably one of the best defensive fighters in the game. You really believe you can stop Shakur?
The physical fight is only one part of this battle, but the mental war may already be decided depending on who you believe. Things turn personal when Teofimo Lopez said he would force Shakur Stevenson to quit on the stool. Shakur answered in a cold and focused way by posting that he canceled Thanksgiving completely and chose not to rest. No Thanksgiving for me this year. We working today. This sacrifice shows a fighter who is fully locked. In still, Lamont Roach makes a harsh claim about Teofimo. Mental strength. He believes Lopez is not built for a long, exhausting 12-round chess match. Roach says if Teofimo fails to land a big shot early, he will become frustrated, lose focus, and slowly get broken down by the surgeon known as Shakur Stevenson.
Little cuckoo too, like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while.
So who do you think wins that fight between him and Teofimo Lopez if they fight?
I think Shakur wins. And I don't think it's going to be like a super tough fight either. His IQ will frustrate him.
Don't you think Teo has also good ring IQ and also is slick, fast?
I think explosive? So, but when you look at Teo's performances against guys that are just pure boxers, it's just like he almost lost to Sandor Martin. Some people thought he lost to Sandor Martin.
He did beat Loma, who's arguably at the time considered one of the best in the world.
He did, and that was a hell of a performance too. A hell of a performance too. So yeah, I mean, I think he's hit or miss. You got to think he got stuff. He a little cuckoo too. Like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while. Look at the Kambosos fight. Like that's a fight that people would never expect Kambosos to win. And he won a grueling match against him as well. So I just, I don't know. I don't think he can get it done against Shakur when it comes to like, cause it's going to be just a skill match. I don't think he's going to try to rough Shakur up, and there's probably...
The fighters who have actually shared the ring with these two champions are noticing details the public often misses. Dalton Smith, who has sparred with Shakur since their amateur years, describes him as unbelievable and believes he will win. Still, he admits that on paper this matchup is a true 50-50 fight.
Great matchup. You know, I'd probably have to favour Shakur in that on points. But like I said, Teofimo, one hell of a fighter. It really is a 50-50 fight. And of course, I'll be keeping my eye on that. But what a time to be a fighter in the 140-pound division. That's exciting.
Absolutely. I think have you sparred with Shakur? I think I saw you in an interview talk about what was that sparring like and why is he the favorite over Teo?
You know, I just think how he's progressed over the years. You know, you can't deny Shakur's one hell of a fighter. You know, he's as a boxer. You know, I don't think he's the biggest puncher, but his boxing and IQ and skills is a great fighter. And obviously, I remember Shakur from back in the junior days. You know, you know, Shakur's a good guy, and yeah, just one hell of a fighter.
Was it really difficult to hit him? Was his defense really that great?
No, it was many years ago. Obviously, the sparring's are competitive. It was great. Obviously, we used to go over. I went over a couple of times to Colorado for the training camps. I used to go with the Great Britain team, and you know, we learned valuable lessons going over there, mixing it with the USA team, and you know, all that over the years brings us to these moments now.
Keyshawn Davis, a teammate of Shakur Stevenson, gives a clear idea of how the fight may unfold. He believes Shakur controls the early rounds with speed and sharp skills, but Teofimo Lopez makes adjustments later using his size and power to shift the momentum. Davis also says that a loss here would not end Teofimo Lopez's career unless it becomes embarrassing. If Shakur Stevenson makes him look amateur, then the rise and takeover could be finished good.
I see it playing out, let's say, I see it starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is eventually going to start picking it up and start, imposing his will.
Right.
And then, it's just gonna go from there. That's how I think it's gonna go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair one.
Especially for that to be his brother.
I think it's gonna be close. I think it'll be closer than people think.
Taylor's very good.
Hey, one thing I can say though, because we've been amateur together and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Tio can fight.
I'm telling you that. Tio can fight.
Winning back
if you said he couldn't, you'd be lying.
Right. That's a real assessment though. I think Shakur still wins, but it's gonna be closer than what people think.
Tio is nice. A lot, man, no doubt.
Yeah, and Keyshawn, speaking of Tio, you've been vocal about your desire to fight Teofimo Lopez. And of course, I was there in Las Vegas, right, when you FaceTime Tio. Now Tio's fighting Shakur Stevenson, but do we see Keyshawn and Tio at some point?
How was Tio acting when I FaceTimed him? Since you brought it up, how was he acting?
You tell me. You tell the people.
Why do I gotta tell
you? You gotta tell him anyway. Right. How was he acting?
Yeah, how was he acting?
Hey, all I'm gonna say is he was not motivated.
Right.
He kept saying he wanted boots.
But look,
he kept saying he wanted boots.
What you asked me again? Because I wanted to answer that. What'd you say?
No, do we see you and Tio fight in the future?
Oh, depending on what Shakur do with him.
Hey, losing to Shakur, though, that can't be a death sentence, right? We can still see Tio back.
It depends how bad he loses.
That's about to say.
So you think it's going to be bad?
Let's say he loses a competitive fight. Yeah, I think that would be the most common answer is Shakur outpoints him in a very competitive fight.
Beats him.
What then? What then for you and Teo?
For the businessman, huh?
All right, cool. Since you worded it like that,
Max Kellerman highlighted the most important detail that many people are overlooking. Teofimo Lopez is the one who asked for this fight at a time when most fighters avoid Shakur Stevenson completely. Teofimo Lopez stepped forward and wanted the challenge. That level of fearlessness carries real meaning.
A real super fight, and I said this on the broadcast for Crawford and Canelo, can't be promoted into existence.
Right.
What a real super fight is, the dust settles in an era, and there are two dudes left standing. There's Ali, there's Frazier, there's Leonard, there's Hagler, there's Mayweather, there's Pacquiao. That's a super fight, right? There's Crawford, there's Canelo. Those are two big fighters of the era. This type of fight, this could easily be at the end of an era, because Teo might be a dude left standing and Shakur could be the dude left standing, right?
I agree.
But it could happen now. It could happen now.
Sean Porter gives Shakur Stevenson a 60-40 advantage, but he warns that Teofimo Lopez's explosive nature is part of who he is. We have seen this story before. When Teofimo Lopez faced Vasily Lomachenko, almost no one believed in him. When he fought Josh Taylor, many experts said he was done. Both times he proved everyone wrong. He has built a reputation as the king of upsets, and history shows that betting against him when he is under pressure is usually a mistake. Bad idea.
Teofimo Lopez, another easy fight. The problem with him is he's too delusional to go in the gym and fix his mistakes. So I ain't even gonna. I can't say it all. Like I said, I'm gonna make that fight look easy.
We are witnessing the classic clash of an unstoppable force against an immovable object. On one side stands Shakur Stevenson, a defensive master, who gave up his holidays to make sure he is better than ever before. On the other side is Teofimo Lopez, a fighter powered by neon talent and a proven record of breaking legends. Can Shakur discipline crack Teofimo mindset, or will the takeover claim its biggest target yet? The experts are divided. The trainers are talking about draws, and both fighters are prepared for war.
He's just not a talented guy. He's ultra talented, and he's got some great hand speed, and his feet work very well.
Absolutely.
So he's kind of hard. He's an elusive guy to catch up to, and if that's what his game plan is, if he's successful with that, Tio is the guy that may not like the way that Shakur fights when they get in the ring. He may not, he may stop and stump his feet and say, "Come on, man, let's fight."
Yeah, let's fight.
Shakur may say, "Nah, we're not fighting. We're boxing."
Yep, and that's what I was gonna finish off with. A lot of people saying this is a 60-40 fight, 70-30, being Shakur the favorite. Do you see it that way, or do you think this is a 50-50 fight?
Nah, you said 60-40?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely. No, Tio's definitely in this fight. He's in it to win it. I think we're talking pure boxing, Shakur, but we talk a dog, Tio.
Yeah.
And Tio's just as fast. There's speed and there's elite speed. Tio's got speed. Shakur's got elite speed. But that's not too far off, especially when you're not a come-forward fighter. Shakur's not a come-forward, step to you with my speed and hurt you with my speed type fighter.
Yeah.
So, you know, that speed gets neutralized when you're moving in the other direction.
Absolutely.
It gets neutralized when you're moving in the other direction. No, it's not 60-40. It's a 50-50 fight.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it from...
Alright everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events and stories. Subscribe to Glove Lord and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.